Today we are going to talk about training with airsoft guns. I know a lot of you think that that's silly and a waste of time, and practicing with an airsoft gun isn't going to get you any better with a real gun. And I'm not here to tell you that training with an airsoft gun is going to give you the same practice that training with your real firearm is going to give you, but it does offer some other options. I think it still lets you work on the basics of trigger control and sight acquisition and moving and shooting and things like that, and it's a lot of fun. You know, especially if you have kids that like to shoot, you should have airsoft guns. You should teach them firearm safety with those airsoft guns. And anyway, I'm going to show you what we do, what I like. And here we've got, this is my Sig Sauer P226 9mm. Next to it is my Sig Sauer P226 airsoft gun. And I wanted to show you the similarities between the two. They're both have been checked. They're clear. No rounds in them. This one does have the magazine in it. It's empty. So both clear, safe weapons. The first thing that you notice, the size is virtually identical. This one does have a rail on it, whereas my 9mm does not. Let's flip them over and look at the controls. Virtually identical. They both have a slide stop, slide release. Works basically the same way. They both have a decocker. They both fire in double and single action. They both lock back on an empty magazine, and they're both the airsoft gun is a blowback. So as you're firing it, it cycles. It uses green gas or propane that has been treated with silicone lubricant. You gas up the magazine. You load the BBs in here and throw it in there, and you have to rack the slide to get your first round in there, and you're good to go. Everything about this, I mean, even the weight, I haven't put them on a scale, and maybe I'll do that, but the weight of this gun with the magazine in it is almost spot on what my 9mm is with a full magazine in it. And even you go right down to the takedown, and you know, this is where you get in to adjust the hop up on it. So if your rounds are not hitting where you want it to, or you need a little more distance on them, you can adjust that. But pretty cool, if you ask me. I have a lot of fun with them. I think that it provides a good source of practice. I don't know if we want to call it training necessarily. Force on force, you know, running through the woods with your buddies, you put some safety glasses on, and you're usually in pretty good shape. This gun here, I believe the velocity of the BB is about 380 feet per second, which is pretty good. If you're doing force on force stuff, there's usually not a question whether you get hit with that one. So I picked this up at airsoftmegastore.com, and I got it for, I think it was $135. And then about 6 months later, I was looking to get one for my son, and looking through it, I picked up this one, the exact same gun, all the same features. The only difference is it has this real ugly desert camo paint job on it, and they were closing them out. I picked that up for 75 bucks. That's a steal. That's well worth your money. They've proven to be pretty durable. They hold up well. They're a whole lot of fun to shoot. I did have a problem with one magazine. Started leaking, and I can't get a replacement O-ring, which seems pretty silly to me. These magazines, if I remember, were about 40 or 50 bucks, which is kind of steep for something like that, but I think I'm going to go at it with some silicone sealant and see if I can't patch it up that way. But they're a lot of fun. I think it's a valuable training source. It's obviously not going to be as good as other things, but it's something you can do in the backyard, and we'll show you a little later here just some of the fun that we have right in our own backyard training with airsoft guns. Okay, so let's show you how this works. Instead of green gas, we just use propane, but you have to have this adapter, and this is silicone oil. The silicone oil, what it does is it actually lubricates the internal parts of the gun. Without it, that's when you lose your seals and stuff dries up. You have problems. So a couple drops in the cap, flip it over, screw that on, and now your propane's ready to go. To load these, there's a lot of different ways that you can load these. They come with some things that you can force the BBs in. This is kind of the easy way to do it, I think. It's a double stack in there. This is the only thing that really isn't too authentic about the about this airsoft version over the 9mm. Clearly you get a lot more shots than you would with your 9mm. Now that's easy to remedy. You just load it up with as many shots as you have in your 9mm or whatever your real gun is. Anyway, so then you take that, you've got this little valve right here. Take your propane, press that on there, hold it on there for a few seconds. You're ready to go. Get your safety glasses on. Safety first, right? And we're ready to go. Load around. If you want to start in double action only, if you notice, if you focus here on the trigger, when the hammer goes back, the trigger goes back. When the hammer's forward, it goes back into a double action pull. Now, I'm not going to kid anybody. The trigger pull on the airsoft gun is not the same as it is on my 9mm. They're very different, but it still gives you, you're still practicing a double and single action pull, even though the weight is different. So, anyway, that's that, and then we're ready to fire. And we lock back on the last round.
Guess not on the camera.